We're now recording. Masaki, please start.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Masaki. Thank you for joining my session. I'm going to share how like a big schools successfully expanded from the point of my experience. But first, I would like to thank you, Simon and Peter, for organizing this event and giving me opportunity to do this presentation. Okay. Here is the outline. The main point will be how like smaller schools grow to the next step. And I hope I can tell how smaller schools can effectively like leverage your competitive advantage at this period. Okay. First, please let me introduce myself. Okay. I have been working in the education companies for 17 years right now. Here are some main points of my career. I was in GABA for 11 years, and 5 years of my GABA life were one of the board members. And I was in charge of like or about 45 branches, mainly focusing on the revenue improvement and operation service. That time, company successfully like expanded to the 10 billion yen company. I also experienced like a back office as a HR, GA in the last 2 years. Then I moved to Tri-Group's business called My Gym as a director of the business. And My Gym is a 0 to 13 years old fitness center. Basically fitness, but doing the art, and we developed a program of programming after school, all done in English. And my career over 3 years, the size of business became like a double, expanded in first in Osaka, Nagoya, and Fukuoka. And finally, this is my new company, M Connection. I want to help people like challenge at the world stage. But first, I started with the consultation services for mainly like a small education companies and schools. Okay. First, let me talk about the market trends of the language business market right now. Here is the data from 2014. FY means fiscal year. So for example, like FY 2019 means it's from April 2019 to March 2020. So the recent 5 years, 5 to 6 years, the market has been like a growing about like 2%. But actually, this trend has been continued since FY 09. So maybe like 10 years, our market is growing. However, FY 19 here, it resulted shrink by 1.2%. You know, or we know it's mainly because of Corona. Okay. So this market information includes like all of language related business. So let me go to the details of this like a segments. So first one, like a blue one is a classroom overall market. So this includes adults, child, like preschool. So in this blue, like 60% is adults classroom market. So it's not adults classroom market doesn't grow almost nothing, but like segments like business needs, one-to-one type English were growing by 1 to like 3%. So it means hobby culture needs, like group lessons needs are downtrend. This is not adults, but preschool market is 10% of this blue market, but it's growing by 6%. Okay. So another point is this red learning market, e-learning market. So this is online lessons. It's still small, but since 2014, it's growing like about 17%, which is very, very good. And also even FY19, market shrunk by 1.2%, but online lesson improved by 28%. So there is like a up down in the market segments, but actually there are huge gaps in the companies. I think it's because of like their management skill. Oh, sorry. This. Okay. So let me share how that schools like grew up at that period.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going straight to the point. Big chains, basic strategies foresee the market needs and select and concentrate resources at once. So how fast you can move toward the change of the market needs is a key for growth. For example, around like 2010 to 2011, there were like two major events like Lehman shock and something GG, like earthquake, big earthquake. So corporate demand changed to like overseas expansion with the globalization. So English needs also changed to the like lots of business in the business situation. So for example, like an in-house English official language, like Rakuten, Uniqlo, and mega banks, they kind of expressed the changed their official language to English. So in addition, like many companies are seeking like English skills. So like they changed the HR system. So English was tested on the recruiting, like promotion. So yeah, I can tell like many older business people got in panic like that time. Yeah, with the drastic change. So of course, GABA found it is like a chance, right? So we quickly like reacted to the needs. So first, like a corporate team made a new contract, like in-house, by using their meeting room like spaces in the mega bank or like major companies. We built the exact kind of same booth in the office. And academic like a development team like renewed all of the like business curriculums and like made a special like business courses. Then training, instructors like counselors, teaching, sales, training. We did like a lot at this time. Then a big chain has a big campaign and mass appeal to get the new inquiries. So maybe other major Eikaiwa schools improved that period, but especially like a one-to-one improved, led by maybe GABA and Berries, because like Eon, ECC, they are huge, but their image was like a hobby type of lesson. So that period, those GABA and Berries kind of improved a lot on the share. So basically, you know, if you get like a new students, Eikaiwa, big Eikaiwa school tend to set the high admission fee. So then I'm not sure like if you familiar with this this type of payment, but advance received. So it's not tuition, but you pay like before you take lessons, like hold points. So once we get the new members, we get lots of new cash in. So big companies can invest the money to the like a new opening FCs, like curriculum services. Then like that, like do the mass marketing, commercials, training ad, mass emails, SNS. Then you get new customers again. That's those cycle move. So the point is all systemized. So that's why like they can develop new branches, move on to like FCs, franchises. So yeah, like when I was in my gym, when I joined my gym, there are 9 gyms in Japan, but there were no systems in place at all. So I couldn't open the new locations that time. So using 1 year, I put like everything in the system. So then we open new locations in different locations. Okay. So one thing we can learn from the big chains is to set the system in place. And also their weakness is big chain tend to focus too much on the new clients to expand the share. But if you are working there, you can feel like lots of new customers, but lots of new existing customers are leaving. So like when I was doing the operation, I felt like sometimes like I was doing the money game. So yes, so I wanted to focus more on the existing clients. So that mind made me might develop like so as a best practice, I want to share about the implementation in GABA and also my gym. Here is clients, instructors, and operations, 3 groups of people. Okay, so if instructors provide excellent lessons, clients will be happy. But Eikaiwa like a service is not just lessons, right? So you have to provide a better and best services, and also continuously improve to keep the clients happy. Then also to provide a better service, maybe you have to provide a great working environment and management to the instructors, like staff members. So if they all happy, and you will make a good profit. So you have to make a win-win situation in triangle. However, many cases, this satisfaction is misunderstood. What they are really satisfied with, what they are not satisfied with. So the reason of like a misunderstanding is maybe just a feeling. They don't actually like listen to the voices. So GABA had a like a lesson evaluation system. So every like after the lesson, clients can evaluate your lessons Then if you get the low evaluation, clients can get the point back. This is kind of typical kind of evaluation system in the Eikaiwa industry. But I also made from operation side to the clients like a client satisfaction survey. Actually, this client survey is really good tool. Also, this tool motivates like instructors as well, because clients like make lots of good comments. So yeah, this is a good system. And also, we should have an instructor satisfaction survey. If those systems in place, retention improves for clients, both clients and instructors. So yeah, this is good. Was great tool to improve our services. So, and also this is like how it's kind of evaluation to satisfaction level, but also like I want to introduce one case in my gym. We reduced the cost because of this. X management provided like a water dispenser in each location, since we had like a small kids. But I thought it was good service. But from the survey, like no one pointed out like anything, no comments on the survey. So after 2 years, like I decided to take out all water dispenser from the location. Of course, like my staff members complained a lot that time, because they felt that improves our satisfaction level. But after taking this water dispensers, no one complained, and of course, no one terminated. Then satisfaction level didn't change. So as a result, we reduced like the cost about 2 million yen in a year. Then by using 2 million yen, we could use that money to invest new services for clients, you know, like, and we could invest instructors as well. Then, you know, that make the satisfaction level up as well. Okay. So I'd like to consider like how to grow smaller schools. So again, let's see our market. In 2020, unfortunately, the market size will be shrinking by 9.4%. But you know, as not all segments will be downtrend, I think there are gaps in the market, like segments and even companies, right? So I'm sure e-learning will be growing dramatically at this period. This is my guess, but you know, DMM online Eikaiwa will expand a lot share. It's because during this period, lots of Eikaiwa schools provided like a free lessons. Then that action maybe increased lots of online lesson users to from like a classroom to the like online lessons. And DMM actually offered like free lessons from March. So very like early stage, like they provided like free lessons to high school students, like many like adults as well. So yeah, like there are many cases like if you make a decision early, you will you will get the benefits too. So my case, my gym lost like about 35% of clients, about 1,000 clients during Corona. But we opened early. We took action for the safety, and from June to December, we gained 1,300 clients. So we hit the historical revenue record in October. Yeah, I heard like many, Naraigoto companies, schools like struggling was that time. But if you make a right a decision in early time, the business has a chance to grow even in this environment, I think. Okay, so who gets most affected the most in this market? I think it's a big classroom type school. So it's kind of sad to me about GABA. They have closed like about 15 schools, and it doesn't look their future bright. It's because they have lost the growth driver, like a new opening, and also kind of slow move to move on to like online lessons. So, GABA has locations in close to the business building. So no one, many not traveling right now because of remote work, right? And also I heard from shopping mall managers recently, their customers are very limited to the 2 to 5 kilometers area. So which means people don't travel too far to get something, to buy something. So I think now smaller schools have more opportunities to grow. So if I were owner of smaller schools, I would review some points. One is retention strategies. It is said it costs 5 times as much to acquire new clients as retaining existing customers. So lower cost, but better profit is one of the way we should take. So yeah, to client satisfaction is really important to retain people. And also we should take action to instructors as well. If their satisfaction level gets higher, you will get a more friendly referrals as well. So it makes new acquisition as well. So I think that will lead to the next strategy as well. Local marketing. This is one of the weakness of bigger chains. Marketing team do the mass marketing. Then in the location, staff members tend to wait the customers to come. So if you have a good local marketing, yeah, market is shrinking, but you will make many people, because big school, there are lots of people leaving from the big schools, but market size is still offline lessons are huge. So even though online lessons are getting bigger, people still waiting for offline lessons. And also, we could learn from some cases, companies, quick business judgment. This is the last lastly, like I can tell how quickly like making the judge is really important in every like industry. So quick decision and take action are important since the situation changes very quickly right now. Okay, here are some points. Okay, thank you very much. Is it? Oh, we have like 2 minutes. So if you have any questions, please.
Does this session go until 3 p.m.?
Oh, okay. But yeah, I can finish. So if you have any questions, I can take more time than I thought.
Okay, that's great. So thank you for that, Masaki. So going back to what you were saying about evaluation, there were questions in from Aid and from Paul about, is it a 360-degree evaluation or how to evaluate kids' classes? I think a lot of the owners here today are at schools that teach a lot of young kids, probably kindergarten, elementary. So for a satisfaction survey, one would presume that you're talking to the parents. Are they satisfied? So what's the expression of the satisfaction of the child and the parent, and how does that work in the sort of satisfaction survey that you're talking about?
Okay, thank you for the questions. Basically, my gym's customers' main target was like a 1 to 4. So, kids cannot answer the questions. So we actually send the parents to the questions. Then, of course, やっぱりhow many percent of feedback is really important. So if it is like only 10%, it's meaningless. So we use the online system to get the feedback. Did I answer for your question?
Yep, I think that's great. I was very interested in the example you gave about the water cooler and the difference between the data that you collected on the satisfaction survey and the feeling of staff. This is something I always talk about. We actually probably shouldn't listen to our feelings so much, and we should look about data. Could you give some insight into other forms of data that you collect?
I'm sorry, like what?
So on the satisfaction survey, you noticed that nobody mentioned the water cooler. And so what other kinds of data were you collecting that made take a decision that possibly went against a feeling?
I think the important of a survey should be a number. So if your satisfaction level should be numbered. Then also I collected the comments. So number is like you can see the tendency. Then comments, I pick up everything like a good words, like a bad comments. Then I took like both actions. So water founder, like there was no comment. So I decided like not to have it anymore because it didn't make any improvement of the satisfaction.
Right, thanks. And there's a question in there from Paul. What format did you use for the surveys? Were they online surveys? Was it a voice survey or a paper survey, etc.?
Yeah, that's online. I used the Google Forms. Actually, that system is really good. And it's free. There are many companies providing like a service like that, but we don't have to use it because security is also really good too.
And could you give us some examples of the questions that you put onto that survey?
I always like, NPS. NPS is one of the way like you can find the satisfaction level. So if you are you gonna tell about my gym or not みたいなのを0 to like a 10 score. Then also like I asked lesson satisfaction, like a player, instructor satisfaction, and reception satisfaction, facilities, like merchandise and pricing. And also you can collect the data of like their salaries, their competitors, what they are doing, you know, many things. But many parents can will answer for you.
And there's some questions in there about, you know, educational outcomes. Are these measured in some way? And for the instructors or the teachers, what are they made aware of in terms of the criteria for assessment?
Criteria of assessment? What do you mean? I'm sorry.
For example, if you ask a parent, are you satisfied with the teacher, say on a scale of 1 to 5, is that just a feeling, or are you looking at speaking ability? And are the instructors aware of the types of questions you would ask to the parents?
Basically, like I actually like asked just satisfaction, because you know that's for kids, and you know teaching style is set in my gym, so it's not a free type of lessons. So we just ask like their satisfaction as a parent.
Right. And how often would you do those surveys?
I did once a year, the big huge one only.
Right, interesting. So just once a year.
Because if the important thing is to collect a number of things. So if you do like too much, maybe they don't answer. And also the important is not just collecting, but taking action after this analysis, right? So it takes time to make the improvement of the service. So I decided to do that like in once a year, but maybe twice a year is okay too, I think.
And did you have a word of mouth referral program? Did you reward existing customers to bring new customers?
Yes, we provided like a lesson points or something, but if your clients are satisfied with the service, no need a reward maybe.
Right, it's the 1,000 true fans, right? Once you have 1,000 true fans, they tell everybody anyway, right?
Yeah.
And in this environment of COVID-19, Corona, and lack of face-to-face contact, or a fear of contact, lots of schools are suffering. And there's one question here about an effective, low-cost local marketing strategy. Would you recommend?
Yes. Yeah, it depends on like their situation maybe. So local promotion is, for example, if you know like some facilities, like some shopping mall actually wants to restart the events. So yeah, like but shopping center also checking like who is gonna do it first or not, because they get claims. So I often like visited shopping malls managers. Then if they want to do it, like we helped. Then you know, even June, like July, we got a lot of new customers, because needs are there. So it depends on the maybe your business model, like type だと思います。
Yeah, if I could give a bit of input into that, I run a chain of schools, and we've always done very well by personally handing out flyers when we can say hello to people. It has a big impact. But in this climate, we're not doing that. It's very difficult to. We're not supposed to shake hands. Never mind give out flyers. We've shifted a lot of our marketing strategy to highly targeted web ads, and that's been very, very successful. In that, and so 60% last year of new customers, 60% of new customers came through those web referrals last year. That's what I would suggest to people. If you can't do flyers, concentrate on some local web ads. But those are very technical and very difficult to do very well, because companies like GABA, Shane, they have a high spend. The click-through spend has increased dramatically. So, that's what I would suggest to anybody who's interested in my input.
That's good. Interesting.
And how about if instructors receive negative feedback, how is that dealt with from HR?
Each location has a like an instructor leader. So, before making the feedback, it depends on like how you make the feedback. I think, so some instructors take that negative comments as a positive way, could be negative way. So that depends on the how you deliver the feedback. So before delivering the negative feedback, instructors management discussed with Japanese counselors, managers. Then sometimes we actually asked clients about the detail, then provide the right like a feedback to the instructor. Yeah, I think many taking it like as a positive feedback as a.
So trying to use the feedback as a growth opportunity rather than a punishment opportunity, right? As anybody, so there's one question that always crops up for school owners with lots of elementary students, and they leave and they go to Juku to do grammar study and entrance exam study. Have you worked anywhere that's had any particular strategies to stop elementary kids leaving and going to Juku?
Yeah, actually, there is a gap between Juku usually starts from 10 years old. So then, my gym's turning point is like 5 years. So between like 5 to 10 years, I made a after school program. But actually, my gym is a Juku company. Right. So actually, it's good to go.
Right. So that's the answer. Become a Juku. Buy a Juku.
Right.
And there's a question here about corporations deciding when to begin national expansion. So you talked about people needing the systems ready to expand. So my gym had no systems in place when you came in. And this is music to my ears, because this is what I tell everybody. They need their systems in place. So to make the decision to go national from maybe one location or some small, several locations to a national, what's the decision making there? Systems, finance, opportunity, placement? Capital obviously is always an issue.
Right, but that depends on your vision じゃないかなと思いますね。Like what kind of service you want to make? It has to be local area なのかどうか。Because if you go to the local place, you will make a hard time, like awareness level is really low, staff are limited, and promotion strategy are limited too. So I don't recommend if you don't have a clear vision to how you expand the locations to the local area. Yeah, so first maybe vision needs.
Vision. Okay, so if your vision is in place, and say you, for example, you want to expand your preschool, and you have in place. It's obviously a competitive market. There are lots of immersion preschools, and this is just an example. What's the next step? The vision is in place, your product is in place, your systems are in place. What's the next step for expansion?
Find the right place. So financially, you need to make a decision where you place. So placement is critical. Even 100 meters, a huge difference. So
location.
Yeah, I think location is really important. Access.
Okay. Okay, we've got 1 minute left. So there's a question here. This always comes up. How about pricing? And I'm presuming this means product or service pricing.
Pricing?
Yeah. About setting prices. What are the deciding factors for setting prices?
Of course, you should see the competitors around your area. But my theory, I never put the lower pricing.
Right.
Because lower pricing doesn't make you doesn't help the business. So if you want to put the higher pricing, you have to improve your quality, right?
Right. Okay, that's great. Okay, we're at 3 o'clock there, and so end the recording.
Okay. Yes. Thank you very much. If you have any further questions, please contact myself. His number. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Round of applause, please, for Masaki.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for clarifying things too, Simon.
If Masaki, if you could go into the social room, I think maybe some people might want to join you in there. I'm going to stop this recording, and possibly if you could go in the social room, you might get some fans in there. I'm up next, and I'm going to be covering some of the same topics that Masaki touched on, from the point of view of a much smaller organization. So if people want to come back to this room, that'd be great. I'm going to end the recording now, and hopefully some of you can see Masaki in the social room.
Thanks, Masaki-san. Thanks, Simon.
Thank you.
Thank you.